Winter covered the forest in white. A glass villa stood alone in a barren valley. Outside, the dead shuffled like ghosts. 6 years of plague had washed away every sound of ordinary life. Inside, only 2 children remained. Jim and his sister lived by discipline and habit. Each morning they walked the fence and checked the traps. Each night they locked every door and every window made of bulletproof glass. The dog stayed close and smelled for the smallest change. The fridge still ran. The lights still glowed. Power came from a treadmill set in the middle of the room. Old sensors clung to the corners and still worked. The garden was laced with bell wires that rang when strange footsteps arrived. Beneath the floor there was a sealed room. The walls were scarred with deep claw marks. It was where they caged their own nightmare each time night fell. On the table lay a northbound map. Thin lines marked a fragile route. Beside it was a photo of the mother in combat gear, and a photo of the father in a laboratory. The color had faded, yet the eyes still seemed to watch. A long scratch ran across the main door. The mark warned that this shelter was no longer untouchable. A rusty pickup drifted past the trail more than once. Strangers spoke polite words, yet their eyes were cold as steel. The promise of protection sounded sweet and dangerous. The air held a taste of metal and antiseptic. The 2 children understood that calm days had reached the edge. This was a story about a world that had fallen, about a small family that stitched hope with cunning and courage, about the secret of the special infected, and about the price of survival in a sea of death. The 2 kids were busy playing a game. They did not notice a few strange shapes slipping past the tall glass door that touched the floor. This world had fallen into a zombie apocalypse. The virus had raged for 6 years, yet the 2 siblings had survived inside a villa in a desolate land. This was not something anyone could do. The dangers waiting ahead were more than they imagined. A man and a woman drove up to the villa. Jim stepped out holding a toy gun. The man asked where their parents were. Jim stayed silent. The man smiled and said they would meet next time. That night, Jim led his sister to lock every door and every window. A few zombies lingered outside. They looked ready to break in at any moment. Morning came and they were still safe. Jim checked the ammunition in the house. It seemed his gun was not a normal toy. The next time the siblings went outside to play, the rusty pickup returned. The couple acted more forceful. They asked about the parents again. Jim lied and said the parents had gone to town for supplies. The woman tried to sound friendly. She said this place was many hours from town. She said they could protect the siblings until the parents came back. The house was stacked with supplies. The fridge still worked. The couple chose to stay for a while. The man said his name was Jack. He said he would go hide the truck. It seemed they were running from someone. Late that night, Jim eavesdropped on their talk. They were pleased with this place. For safety, Jim led his sister into the safe room. That was one of the survival tricks that kept them alive. At dawn, Jack was already up cooking breakfast. He treated the villa like his own home. The boy kept a calm face. He said one strange line. Everything would be over before Jack noticed. When night fell, Jim asked if it was time. The dog rubbed against him. Then it gave a small nod. Jim hugged his sister. He locked her inside the safe room. Downstairs, the couple flirted and laughed. They had no idea danger was near. The woman went to the bathroom. She saw a few zombies clinging to the window. She turned off the light. She thought they would not see her. A door opened behind her. Jack sensed something wrong. He drew his gun and moved in. He saw his girlfriend on the floor. Her body was soaked in blood. After that, the couple vanished from the story. Jim and his sister kept playing as if nothing had happened. This was clearly not the first time intruders had come. A long-haired man was walking in the woods. He saw a few traps in the snow. He followed the signs and soon found the villa. A little girl appeared in front of him. His neck stung. A tranquilizer dart had hit. Jim was the one who fired. This was also one of his survival skills. When the man woke up, Jim was pointing a gun. The man said his name was Adam. He said he was a special forces soldier passing through. He said he was heading north to find his wife. Jim paused for a moment. He felt this man was different from the others. The man did not ask for food or medicine. He only wanted his weapon back. Jim made a deal. He wanted Adam to help generate power for the house. Adam asked where the parents were. Jim did not lie this time. He said his father was a scientist who had been missing for a long time. He said his mother worked in security and had gone on a mission a few days ago. He said she might return soon. Adam looked at the treadmill and felt surprised. He did not expect this house to make power by running. A zombie wandered past the window. Adam did not think twice. He grabbed an iron bar and ran outside. He killed the zombie. He came back with blood on his clothes. Jim shouted and asked why he killed it. The glass here was special bulletproof glass. Even a crowd of zombies could not break in. Adam took the scolding and still felt pity for the children. He stepped onto the treadmill. He generated power for the home. The night passed and Adam was almost spent. The sister of Jim wandered over. She said he smelled bad and ran away. Adam went to take a shower. The girl handed him a hair clip. At that time, Jim had left the villa. Each morning, they checked the traps around the home. That routine kept the herd from getting close. They caught a lively zombie again. After breakfast, Adam entered the office of the mother of Jim. On the table, he saw a car key beside the photos. He ran to the garage. The car was broken. A corner room drew his attention. Adam thought it was a tool room. He tried to go inside. Jim returned from patrol in time and stopped him. After more than a day together, the siblings decided Adam was not a threat. That night, they chose not to sleep in the safe room. For some reason, Jim cuffed his own hands. Near dawn, Adam woke to footsteps in the yard. Jim was on patrol again. He reached yesterday's trap. The zombie was still there. Jim was thinking of a way to handle it. Adam arrived and acted on instinct. He believed it was Jim's mother. He moved to set her free. Jim raised his gun and stopped him. Adam walked back to the villa in anger. He opened the room that had been off limits. A blanket lay on the floor. The walls were carved with savage claw marks. It looked like a pen for a zombie. Adam felt sure his guess was right. An engine roared in the yard. More survivors had come. Their intent was not good. They pointed guns and circled the villa. Adam had no weapon, so he stayed still. Jim watched from a distance. His sister waved from a second-floor window. A raider was about to see her. Adam rushed in and shoved him to the ground. Jim let out a breath. The raider tried the doors and found them all locked. He drove away at last. After this, Jim trusted Adam more. He returned his weapon. Adam planned to leave, but his heart lingered. The call of his wife returned in a dream. He woke and decided to take the siblings north to find her. He would chase his wish and care for the kids. Jim refused without hesitation. He wanted to stay and wait for his mother. Noise rolled in from outside. The raider from yesterday had brought more men. They grabbed the sister while she played in the yard. Both sides struggled. Gunshots rang from not far away. 2 raiders dropped. Adam rushed in and pulled the girl to safety. The shooter was Jim's mother. She was a real agent. A bullet had struck Adam in the chest. He sank to his knees and fell. No one knew how much time had passed. Adam woke up. The wound in his chest had closed. A rope was tied around his body. Upstairs, Jim and his family were waving to him. Adam stepped inside the house in confusion. Then he listened as Lena told the truth. Ordinary infected lose higher brain function. Only primal instinct remains. Yet a group of special infected still exists. Their minds work like normal people. Their bodies carry the strength and recovery of the dead. They can heal from illness and wounds. They have one weakness. After heavy trauma or at fixed cycles, they fall into a frenzy. In that state, they are no different from common zombies. Adam understood at once. He was one of the special infected. Lena confirmed it. If not, he would have died from the bullet. Instead, he raged for a short time and woke the next morning as if nothing had happened. Then Lena revealed another truth. Jim was the same as Adam. Jim was a special infected. The couple from the other night had died because Jim entered a frenzy. That was why he cuffed his hands each night. Adam asked if they could predict the next frenzy. Lena said the dog had special training. Before Jim changed, the dog could sense a tiny scent shift. Adam remembered the room with the claw marks. That was where Jim was tied during each frenzy. An engine growled not far away. Lena carried her daughter and stepped out to face a militia patrol. She seemed to know the white-bearded leader. His daughter had run off with a young man. He was searching the area with his men. Lena said she would report if she saw the girl. The leader pulled his squad back with clear reluctance. That night, Adam asked where the villa came from. Lena said the National Security Service had forecast a zombie outbreak long ago. They built thousands of shelters like this in remote areas. Every panel was reinforced. The energy system let a family live off the grid. Adam felt a weight in his chest. He said Lena should have warned more people earlier. He said more civilians might have been saved. Lena shook her head. She was helpless. Jim and his sister were born with heart disease. Jim's father was a biologist. He was among the first to identify the virus. He feared his son would not live past 3 years. He injected the virus into the boy as a desperate trial. The result turned Jim into a special infected. During one frenzy, the father was bitten. He could not create a miracle. He became a common zombie. Lena was forced to end his life. Adam felt a fierce respect for the mother. He wanted to help protect this small family. Lena and the children began to lean on the calm soldier who had walked in from the snow. That day, the dog barked twice. Jim understood he was about to enter a frenzy. He locked the door. A raw howl rose not long after. Lena felt her heart twist. She sat outside the door and waited in silence. Adam offered to take the next watch. It felt different to have a steady man in the home. No one expected the little girl to collapse in the yard. Lena saw the signs of a heart attack. The tools they had could not save her. Adam proposed to infect the child as they had done with Jim. Lena refused at once. Jim was a miracle among 1,000. He had survived only through pain and luck. They chose to let the girl leave in peace. They waited for Jim to finish the frenzy. Then the family walked with her to the end of the road. The farewell was simple and gentle. When the rites were done, Adam said he would go. Jim and Lena asked him to stay. He thanked them and still chose the road north. He would keep his promise to his wife. The house felt empty without the girl. It felt empty without Adam as well. The house felt suddenly empty without two people. Lena and her son felt the space grow hollow. In the nearby forest, the men of the white bearded leader found the truck that Jack had hidden. It was a rare coincidence. The couple who had taken the villa were the very targets the old man was hunting. The closest place to the hidden truck was the villa of Lena. He chose to return and search it. Adam slept in the snow. A rush of footsteps woke him. Silence fell again. He ran to check. The snow held a chaos of tracks. The tire marks pointed toward the villa of Lena. A bad feeling rose in Adam. He ran back the way he came. From a distance, he saw a militia unit had taken the villa. The white-bearded leader was pressing Lena for news of his daughter. His men found small items the girl had dropped there. Lena could not explain it away. Adam slipped past the guards and entered the house. He found Jim hiding in the kitchen. He counted the enemy in his head. He drew his weapon. He moved like a shadow in the night. He dropped the sentries one by one. Yet when he reached the hall, several guns aimed at his head. What Adam did next stunned them all. He drew a blade across his own throat. A few men froze in terror. Only Lena understood the plan. She pulled Jim and slipped out of the hall. Soon, Adam fell fully into a frenzy. He turned into a giant that did not feel pain. He cut through the crew of the white-bearded leader. This time, Lena had not been able to restrain him. She could only take her son and flee the villa. The roar of Adam pulled herds of zombies from every direction. Morning came and Adam woke. The villa had been smashed apart by the dead. A letter from Lena lay on the table. She and her child had driven north. If fate allowed, they would meet again. Adam smiled and picked up the doll the little sister had loved most. He strapped it to his back and headed north. The story of the film Fong Fai closed here. The idea of Special Infected was intriguing. They were almost invincible. The ending felt warm if you felt it with care. On a small budget, this was a solid piece of work. If you like the premise, you can search for the original. That is all for today. See you next time.